Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your girl, Cherrell. I'm the host of Let's Talk the Show, and this ain't a podcast. I want to thank you guys for tuning in with me this Tuesday, like you guys do every Tuesday. We're going to let a few more people join in before we get started. But while we're here, make sure you guys are following me on all social media platforms at MissCarter_1X. You can also find me on Facebook under my government at Cherrell Carter. Make sure you guys are also following Let's Talk the Show on every social media platform. And make sure you guys, most importantly, guys, please click the link in our bio and subscribe to our YouTube channel, okay? So yeah, that's about it. Today, we got a really good show. We are going to be talking about, make sure you guys drop in my comment section something you're grateful for. But today, we're going to be talking about how elevation requires separation or requires isolation, because it's some uncomfortable shit, okay? When you're trying to grow and do things you've never seen before and test things out, there are going to be a lot of intentional and unintentional resistance from even yourself and people around you. Is really going to take a different level of commitment and discipline to stick to what you're trying to do. But before we get too deep in it, we got to start the show off with our ritual, and I got to give you guys something I'm grateful for. Make sure you guys drop in my comment section something that you're grateful for. And let's see here. And also, you guys, make sure you share this live with 3 friends that would love this conversation. I am going to say I am grateful for... I am just grateful for, hey guys, I see you guys joining in. Make sure you share this live with 3 friends that would love this conversation. Just hit that little arrow in the lower right corner and share with 3 friends. I want to say today that I am grateful. I'm just grateful to be here today, honestly. I was really overwhelmed, and I was just able to say, you know what, scratch it all. I'm going to just get out and get some air. So I'm just grateful for life today. It's grateful. I know y'all see me working the natural do. I got some flat twists. It's about to get braided, y'all. It's so long, okay? So long. You guys would not even know. It's like shoulder length. And I cut it ear length back in February. So that's 5 months. I'm like from here to here. So super dope. But without further ado, make sure you drop in my comment section something you're grateful for. I've said I'm grateful for life. Today's episode is Elevation Requires Isolation. I want to say that understand that this is going to be isolation. It's going to be isolation and separation from a lot of the people you're accustomed to probably talking to. It's going to be isolation and separation from things you're accustomed to doing. It's going to be separation from the old you. It's going to be separation from anything that truly does not align with what you're trying to do. And I mean anything. And I can say that from my perspective, isolation I've already pretty much still been in isolation just because of the pandemic, but it's literally been separation from what I thought I was going to be able to do and to attain my goals to what I really need to do to obtain my goals. Simple as not on the phone for hours with my sisters. I know that sounds crazy. Like, you can't be on the phone for hours running business. Yeah, I know. But literally, like, I'm not answering phone calls. Or friends are calling me and I'm in the middle of working and they're talking and I have to go, you know what? I shouldn't have answered this call. Let me call you back. It's literally going to be not going to family outings because there are things that I need to record for next week. And if I want to be on top of next week, because I know that in order to be consistent, I have to be intentional. So I cannot come to this family outing this weekend, or I can't come over such and such house this weekend. I have to work. And that's really what it is. It's also going to be isolation on a spiritual level. Because to be completely honest, when you are an entrepreneur, you're fucking crazy. Because the only person that knows what they want to be is in your head, literally. Because damn near every entrepreneur is trying to create something they've never seen before. It may look similar to something, but the details are different. And that's really what makes a difference in your dream and someone else's dream. It may be in the same industry, it may have similarities, but those details make it different. And that is what you're trying to create, those small details, and add those small details to a big picture that makes it your vision. And so you're crazy because nobody's ever seen this before. And on a spiritual level, you need some type of faith and prayer to say, yo, I don't know what I'm doing. I ain't never did it before. Can you help me? Because who else you going to talk to? Nobody else is going to understand. Unless you are blessed with a family of entrepreneurs and self-employed people, that's really going to be hard for people around you to understand what you're trying to do. I mean, they can listen to you tell your dreams, but they don't really know. And nobody really knows what an entrepreneur life is like in your mind and how it works unless you talk to another entrepreneur. I was thinking the other day that when I thought about entrepreneurship, I thought about, literally, hear me out, I thought about it in the sense of people walking on water. And let me tell you what I was thinking. I was thinking that, you look into, I'll say it's like a pool type area. You look into the pool area, you see people on water. Like, it's a pool. You see people on water. Literally, you see them on water and you're like, oh my God, I want to walk on water. But what you don't know is that underneath those people is a glass. It's a glass. It's a pretty thick glass. But if you jump hard enough, you can break it and you can fall, right? But you want to walk on this water and you don't know that there's glass there. And so you walk over to it, you dip your feet in and you're like, and that's the part that you're like, I want to do it. I kind of want to do it. You're still undisciplined, you're still unorganized, but you keep dipping your feet in the water, not understanding that if you dip it hard enough, something's going to catch you. But that little glass is made up of all your faith. It's made up of all your hard work, all of your consistency, all of your risk. Because the thicker the glass is, the more you put into it. It's the more you put into it. It's more risk you take. It's more faith. It's more prayers. It's more belief in yourself. It's more confidence in your ability. It's more self-esteem. It's all those things that make that glass thicker. But it's that water on top that everybody wants. But they don't see the glass that's holding those people up. And that glass can be either so thick or thin depending on how much you invested. But you stick your feet in, you still sticking your feet in, eventually you build the courage up, you take enough risk, and you walk out on that water, and you learn that you're supported by all those things that you've been doing. But also understand, it is glass because it can still be shattered. If you continue, it won't. But if you bust your ass, get lazy, that's all that jumping on that glass, and it's going to break and you'll fall. Now, whether you sink or you swim, obviously, that's a whole nother analogy. But that's how I thought of entrepreneurship. It's looking at people walking on water and saying, I want to walk on water, but they're really supported by glass that you can't see, okay? But once you get out there in the field, you can look down and be like, oh shit, I'm really good. Only if you continue to work hard. But yeah, so that's how I described it. But you got to, I think it's important to keep in mind that a lot of people get this big idea, and I'm not going to say this, and I'm going to make sure I'm very clear. I have not gained a level of success that I've had people turn on me. I'll say that. I have not gotten there, and I pray I never get there. My circle is already fairly small. It's going to be pretty detrimental to me if motherfuckers in my already small circle start turning. That's insanity. But I don't think I'll have that issue. But also, I can't predict the future. I want to say that because I've already gotten to where I am, I've sat down with some amazing people, okay? Like last week's guest, Kid Clever. Let me see here. I'll pull him up. Last week's guest, Kid Clever. Amazing young man. You guys see him there. That was last week's guest, Kid Clever. I can't describe him any other way outside of amazing. This man has sat down with just about anybody, you name it. He sat down with him that's touched the city of Detroit. And it's amazing to sit down with people that you've admired, right? So I'm not a million followers. The show hasn't gotten that big, but it can get that big if you share this live with 3 people. It can get that big, but I've already begun to notice what it's like when I don't answer the phone or when I can't go somewhere. And I've noticed the way other people treat me or how they respond to, I gotta work. And then I've noticed the way I felt. It's so, like, I'm one of those people, like, sometimes I do want to go out, but I know I got to work. and I feel guilty for it. You know, I really want to go out and hang out, but I know I got to work. And so I feel guilty. And then I feel like, dang, like, I feel like FOMO, that's what it's called, fear of missing out. Like, I'm like, dang, I'm going to be missing out. And I'm starting to get over that. You know, a lot of self-assurance and belief in my dream is required in order to get over FOMO. That's how I've gotten over it. Just saying, you know what? You can continue to hang out today, and you're going to be a broke-ass motherfucker still trying to do some shit next year. When you could put your work in, put your prayers in, put your money in, and do it today, and then you don't got to worry about FOMO next year, because you can be wherever the fuck you want to be next year. You know what I'm saying? And then that's how I do. That's the one side. That's the one side of that. Me feeling guilty about not being able to hang out. That separation weighs on me. It weighs on me feeling like, am I making the wrong decision? Am I truly capable of this? Just being honest, it weighs on me like, am I, you know, I feel like sometimes when you put a lot of work in and you spend some time where you miss out on other things. It's like, am I missing out on super important things? Could I have taken a day off? You know, just really a lot of second guessing yourself. And then the other side is, outside of that, and then you got to deal with how people interact with you, right? So now people are like, oh, you can't come, or you get a lot of this, you ain't really gotta work. This is a lot. That's the big thing, especially when you're running something that's on social media. A lot of people like, you ain't even really gotta work for real. It ain't even that hard. All you gotta do is this. And it's like, all you see is a post. What you didn't see me do was research hashtags. What you didn't see me do was trying to figure out how to edit pics. What you didn't see me do is trying to figure out how to be a graphic designer. What you didn't see me do is checking insights to see which posts do well so I can make sure I recreate that content from my audience. What you didn't see me do was spend 30 minutes interacting with other accounts on social media so that people can see me, because if you want love, you got to give love. So it's like, they see one thing, they don't see the 25 things that went into it. And it's almost like people around you unintentionally downplay your dream. And it's like they don't know no better, so you really can't take it personal. And then it's like, especially if they're not in like on a social media or creative, it's like they don't understand what goes into actually creating content, or how important it is. And that's a big thing as well. So it's two sides of the separation. Is internally what you have to deal with when you're dealing with other people. When you say, I can't come here, or I can't answer the phone. A lot of people take it personal. And I'm reading a book now called The 4 Agreements. I think it's called The 4 Agreements. And I'm learning that to not take things personal. And I think that I really take things personal, especially when it comes to me saying, oh, I can't do something right now, or give me a second, I'm busy, because I'm genuinely trying to devote my time and my energy to my business, when I'm used to being like, oh, I can do this later, I can do it later. It's like, no, I need to be in the house for 4 days. I need to work on this. I need to figure out a system to make things work, so that next year, while you guys are working your perfectly fine and perfectly stable 9-to-5s, I've created my own 9-to-5 and created my own system to work, so that I don't have to go back to work. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of hard, and that's why I say it takes a lot of prayer. It takes a lot of self-assurance, a lot of self-esteem to keep going when people are intentionally and unintentionally downplaying your dream. And I'm going to say I'm big on unintentionally, because I don't think there's anybody around me that's purposely downplaying my dream. I do think it's just they're just ignorant to what it actually takes to get to where I'm trying to be, because nobody that I can think of in my circle knows anybody that's close to them that does what I do. You know what I'm saying? So I would say to anybody that's in my position, I would say you got to pray about it. You're going to have to pray to tell God to not allow you to take things personally. Read. Study your craft. Like, use that energy that you would use to be upset about somebody being mad at you that you couldn't come out. Funnel that energy into mastering your craft, into studying your craft. That's another thing that I've been really big into. And I'm a big person on saying things. Even if I don't want to do something for Let's Talk, I even say it out loud, because I understand the energy that if I put it out there, one, I'm trying to be better at my words. So if I said it, I want to follow through with it. But if I don't say it, I feel like I'm less likely to follow through on X. So it's like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm about to do something for Let's Talk. Even if I know I'm procrastinating, if I say it, I'm that much more likely to go ahead and go do something for Let's Talk. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, say things. Put it out there in the energy, in the air, in the world. Write things down. have positive affirmations for yourself when it comes to this, because people think isolation is so easy to just cut people off that don't want to support your dream. And it's like, sometimes that means not talking to your family for a couple days. Sometimes it means missing out on family events. Sometimes you're putting your text messages on mute. I am good for that. I am putting messages on mute because y'all motherfuckers is blowing my phone up and I am trying to work. Sometimes it's missing out on the latest gossip. That isolation will take a toll on you mentally, emotionally, and you have to learn, and you have to deal with it on both sides. You have to deal with your family being distant from you, or feeling like you acting fake, or you ain't returning phone calls. In reality, I'm just trying to build a dream that I ain't never seen. You know what I'm saying? And you have to deal with yourself feeling like, am I making the right decision? What if I'm wasting my time? You got to deal with all that self-doubt with the isolation, and you also got to deal with other people's. But that's why I'm saying, write it down. Write down your dreams. Repeat your dreams to yourself. Build your confidence in your self-esteem in your dream. Believe in yourself. If don't nobody believe in you, believe in your motherfucking self. Because ain't nobody in this world seeing what God gave you. Only you saw it in him. Believe in that shit. Believe in that shit to the core, okay? Because I promise you, the people that were probably trying to fly airplane look like batshit crazy people. They probably want to institutionalize them people. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Everything, every inventor, every entrepreneur looks batshit crazy to people that are not entrepreneurs, okay? Keep at your dream, but you gotta invest in your mental and your emotional. You gotta understand that people are going to intentionally and unintentionally downplay it, and you really gotta charge it to their head and not their heart, because sometimes they really don't know no better. So invest, have some faith in yourself, have some faith in your God. Study your craft, shift that energy. I'm trying to think, what else do you guys think that I just be getting on here going sometimes, but I really wanted to run this episode back. What else do you guys think are some effects of elevation? I think that losing friendships. Oh, this is a big one. Dating. That's another thing. When you dating takes a lot of time. You really have to have the time to invest. And I'll be honest, dating for me is super hard. I'm a single mom trying to run a business. Okay, and it's in the startup stages. So it's like everything is constantly changing. I'm lacking consistency in my system, so it's really hard to stay on one page and do something when you have a constantly growing toddler, when you're constantly trying to adjust to your toddler, you're constantly trying to adjust to your growing business. It's a lot to juggle, so it can be very chaotic at times, but somehow for me, the chaos, there's routine and peace in that little bit of chaos. So for me, I would say that trying to create a routine, even if I don't stick to it, is key. Even if I do not stick to my schedule, I have a schedule. I know what needs to get done. Even if I get a little off sometimes, still create a routine. That's another one. Create a routine. Have some faith. Invest some money and some prayers into your craft. Understand that if God gave it to you, he gonna help you see it through. I just want to make sure I hit everything. There's two sides to that elevation. You lose your friendships. You might lose, bonds with people. And that's hard. I think that friendship breakups are much harder than relationship breakups. That's another thing you got to deal with, people feeling like you acting fake because you don't want to party and drink, or you don't want to just sit around playing a game all day, or you ain't watched the latest reality show because you got shit to do. Like, that just happens. Or you in bed by a certain time. That's another thing. Isolation also means you're going to bed by a certain time, so you're missing things. It's just so many things that you become isolated from. You even become isolated from the person you used to be, so that you can become the person that you need to be, or to evolve those great habits so that you can grow and be a better person. And it's not necessarily always about cutting people off. Sometimes it's about cutting off those dead habits that you used to have, because you need new habits to open these new doors that you got. It's a lot. Like, you just become isolated from a lot of things, and I feel like if you do it right and you stay prayed up and you work on mastering your craft and your mental and your emotional, you're going to be just fine. But like I'm telling you, my show hasn't grown to be 1 million followers, so I ain't lost those friendships. But I have heard the things from people, you know what I'm saying? From everybody, I've heard things, and it's just like, I don't take it personal because I know you don't know no better. But there are some times where I can't answer the phone. I can't go out. I can't do X, Y, Z. And I think that when you're going through this process, it also helps you set boundaries. I think boundaries are essential to any healthy, happy relationship, friendship, relationship, whatever you want to call it. You need boundaries. And isolate and elevating will help you create those as well, because people are going to understand that to have my time is a gift. I cannot be everywhere. I cannot do everything. And so if I'm somewhere, it's because I am intentionally being there. That is my favorite thing, time. I am so shitty at time. Hey, I am so shitty at being on time to places. And I've learned that is because I do not respect other people's time, and it is I do not respect my time. So I am making myself more intentional on being time to places, because I know I don't have the time to be everywhere or to do everything, right? So that's another thing. You got to be intentional about where you spend your time, where the things you think about, and the thoughts that you put into your head, and that energy will grow those things. So you know what I try to think about? I try to put the best possible scenario out there. I try to think the best possible thing. I try to keep my confidence, my self-esteem high, because I can't be weak-minded and crying over every damn thing or every person that don't understand that I'm trying to build this. This right here is like my second kid, all right? Let's Talk is my second kid. I don't have time to be crying about people that won't support me. I just got to go hard for the people that already support me, work on them, recruit new people, and build this show to be what I know God gave me it to be. That's it. That's all I can do. Everything else is going to fall by the wayside. It's going to have to. And that means partying. That means not spending money. That means not buying clothes. Oh my God. I want to buy so many clothes. I want to get these cute shoes I ain't bought. Like, it really means separating from a lot of shit. And you just gotta be dedicated to it. You fuck dedicated. You gotta eat shit, breathe your dream. You gotta eat, and not even just, and your dream could be anything. Your dream doesn't have to be entrepreneurship. Your dream could be a promotion at your new job. Your dream could be mastering a craft. Your dream could be whatever the fuck you want it to be. But if you want to get there and maximize the potential of that dream, you got to eat shit, breathe it, and understand that everything that don't align with it will naturally fall by the wayside. And that's just what it is. That's just what it's going to be. And if you cannot deal with that, then you need to turn your ass back around and go be content with that bullshit life you live in. I can't. And I can't go back. And that's real. I can't go back to that shit I used to do. It just don't. It irks me every time I feel like I'm drifting back to that shit. It's like, fuck. I don't want to fold under the pressure of growing. Like, if I got to grow and I got to go through these growing pains, I want to go through them growing pains. I want to go through them. I want to be stressed out a little bit. I want to be confused. I want to pray it through. I want to cry it out. I want to put the money in and it don't come out. But I want to be at the end of the day where the fuck I want to be, and not where I got to be because I settled for that bullshit life because I folded under pressure. I can't. I will not. I just can't. Like Steve Harvey said, I refuse to stop in the middle of a storm. For what? Nigga, you already in it. Go through it. Don't go the fuck back, because then you got 2 times the shit you got to go through. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Under all this pressure, I'm going to keep going. And yes, you're right, Kiana. Put yourself first. You got to. You got to. It's really about putting yourself first, because at the end of the day, this is your life. This is your life, and what you do with it is your responsibility. That's all on you. I don't give a fuck if somebody asks you to do something. You have the power to say yes or no. It's simple. And you know what? I'm going to say the 4 agreements, that book I told you guys I'm reading, the 4 agreements. I'm going to put it on my story after this, right? The 4 agreements is to be impeccable with your word. Okay? And I think the elevation, a part of growing and being able to maneuver through this isolation is being impeccable with your word. If you can say what you mean and stand by it and not use it to speak ill on people, you can be good. You're going to be able to say, you know what? I'm really sorry I can't come to your event. I'm going to send you some money. Or, you know what? I'll let you know my schedule clear up. We can hang out. Be impeccable with your word. I think this book is a great book, and I'm really trying to implement the agreements. Be impeccable with your word. What else does it say? Don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions. Don't make them. Don't make assumptions about nothing. Ask. And if you don't feel comfortable asking, then you shouldn't even really give a fuck. Let it go. I don't make assumptions about anything. I assume that if I tell you something, that you've used a little bit of prior knowledge combined with what I've told you to believe whatever you want to believe about what I told you. Another thing, don't make assumptions, impeccable with your word. What's the other one? Y'all, what is the other one? The other one is, don't take anything personal. Wait, say it's hard for me to say no to the ones I love, but I'm working on it. Man, that was so hard for me. And it's funny because my sister is going through that now. My sister she's on the end of it, but my sister is going through that now. It is so important because the ones you love are the people that you will go through hell and high water with. And it's like saying no is so important. It's like everybody that knows me for the most part, Tuesdays I do this show. I tell everybody, and I ain't gonna even cap to y'all. Anybody that knows me, I'm not coming out the house on Tuesday. I'm not capping. I don't come out the house. If I left the house on a Tuesday, somebody must be dying or dead. I am not playing. I don't do nothing. I have a schedule. I have 2 schedules that I operate. I have a life schedule and I have a work schedule. In my life schedule, I don't leave the house on Tuesday. My work schedule, I do all type of stuff. My life schedule is like housework and work. That's what my life schedule consists of. Housework I don't do on certain days because it's just chaotic. It doesn't apply for me. It's not, it doesn't work. And then it has work. There are certain days of the week I don't do any housework. I only work. There are days I do housework, light housework, and work, And so Tuesdays, I don't do nothing. I don't leave the house. I had a plan with a friend today to go to her house. And I called her back and I said, yo, can I come tomorrow? Because on Tuesdays, the only thing that's on my mind, my biggest priority, is the show. That's the only thing. Everything I'm doing is to get ready for the show. I'm taking a nap before the show, cleaning up and things like that. And so my real friends know, like, you're not coming out on a Tuesday. If I make plans with somebody for a Tuesday and I do not show up, I don't think anybody really takes it personal because they know that Tuesdays is my day. I've said that. That's my boundary. You guys say no to those people. It's so important. It makes people respect your time and your energy and your effort. And that is how my blessings have come. My circle is so small, and that is how my blessings have came. There's nothing wrong with that. What Jay-Z said, less is more, is plenty of us. And that's never been a real line in hip hop. I'm sure there's some more real lines, but less is more, niggas, plenty of us. And that's how I feel. That's really how I feel. It's really about quantity. It's really about quality over quantity. And the more people you have around you, the more likely is some bullshit to take place. And that's just the reality. So you gotta have people around you that are good. That's another thing. When it comes to elevation and isolation, you want to have good people around you that can support your dream, that can hear your crazy ideas. You want to have good people around you that can support your ideas. And not saying that they're going to necessarily understand your ideas or that they're even going to agree with them, but people that have, and let me emphasize this, because let me tell you something. I remember, and it's not to throw any shade, but when people haven't done nothing or went nowhere, the motherfuckers are detrimental to you. They are bad people for you because their scope of the world is so small. I'll tell you like this. This is what I like to think. If you ever, when you crop your photo out on Instagram, I think it's the profile picture. It has a circle, right? It has a circle of what that white part in the circle is what people are going to see, right? Certain people are going to see. But there's a gray area outside of that circle. That's the big picture. And that's what I like to think about people who ain't never did shit, who ain't never went where. They only see that circle. But your mind sees the whole fucking square, the big picture. And you got to be keeping that in mind when you tell people who ain't never did shit, who ain't gonna do shit, who ain't gonna go nowhere, who won't have no plans to go nowhere. When you tell them your dreams, because they will crush the motherfuckers. They will intentionally poison you. And they may not say it outright blatantly, but it may be the constant, let's go out, let's do this. And it's like, she's trying to build something. And that's why I've always loved when Kendrick Lamar talks about his friend, who I think is a blood or something. I might be wrong. It might be a blood or a Crip. But when Kendrick, I think he said something like he wanted to join the gang, and his friend was like, hell nah, nigga, this ain't for you. I respect those type of people because those type of people, even though he knows what his life is going to be, he understands and he sees the potential in his friend to not allow his friend to go down that path because he sees greatness in his friend. Everybody don't have friends like that. There are very few people in the hood that are going to see your greatness and want you to still go be great. The motherfuckers will prey on that. They're going to prey on the fact that ain't nobody around you, and they're going to try to bring you down. Watch them, people. Be careful of the motherfuckers that got this when you see all this. When you see all this, don't be talking to niggas that see this. Okay? Them niggas can't see nothing. This is all they see. They can't see nowhere else. Okay? They just see the bullshit. You see all this. And that's why traveling changed my mind. When I traveled, I was like, oh, my first time I went somewhere, I was like, what the fuck? I think my first trip ever, my dad took me in high school, and we went to Fisk University, Morehouse, Spelman. I got to see all the Divine Nine, the Greek symbols on a path. I think that was to Fisk. When you travel, you're going to open your mind. That's why you can't be listening to people that don't want to go nowhere and do nothing. You can't tell them people because they only see like this. I'm trying to tell y'all, they only see this. They don't see all the big picture. They only see one way. And you cannot talk to those type of people because they do not believe it's possible. They don't believe you can do it. And that's why they ain't did it. They too scared. They can't help you. Talk to people that you know are on the same frequency as you. That want to go somewhere. I'm trying to tell you, man. 1 second, you guys. Ooh. But I truly enjoyed last Thursday's show. I don't want to keep ranting. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. I really do appreciate you guys. Drop in my comment section. What else do you guys think? You know, what type of things do you think you would experience or you have experienced as a result of growth? Like any type of growth is going to trigger people around you. So as when you grow at any rate, you're just going to experience people that don't like you. Any type of growth is going to be people that they don't like who you become. They're so used to the old you. A lot of people are in the shadows. You know, they like the friend that may not say much or do much, and then you elevate to a certain position, and now your friend's like, who she thinks she is? Pressure. But yeah, it's like any type of growth, you're going to get some haters. You're going to get some resistance from yourself and from those around you. And that's why you really have to be grounded spiritually, mentally, emotionally, so that you can see these things for what they are, not take them personal and attack them head on. You don't want to fold under that pressure because you need it to grow. But yeah, thank you. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed Thursday's show. I really had fun. He was amazing. He's an amazing person. He does a lot in the city. If you guys followed him, make sure you go check his page out. He just did something else. I think he partnered or did a collab with Cartier. So, yeah, shout out to Kid Clever for being an amazing guest. I'm trying to make sure I ain't miss nothing. But yeah, well, you know what? I can't think of it. If I do, I post it. What I am going to do is post that book that I keep ranting and raving about. I'm trying to do a better job of reading. That's another part of elevation. Now I can see things from a different perspective, and I can attack, my problems from a different perspective and overcome them. So that's a big thing. I will post that book in my stories after the show. Yeah. Can I get somebody to drop in my comment section something that they're grateful for? And if you can, go ahead and share this live with 3 friends. We're going to get ready to wrap it up in a minute. I didn't plan on today being a long show, but I am super grateful for you guys sticking around. I've enjoyed you guys. I really love Let's Talk. And I'm sorry, not Let's Talk. I really love the Let's Talk fam. You guys are really top notch. I don't care what nobody say. My audience is the best audience. Y'all come through on the birthdays, on the regular every day, on the love. Y'all really show up and show out, and for that I'm forever grateful. I do got 2 things. So before I wrap it up, 2 things. I want everybody to hit the link in our bio and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're pretty ways away from reaching 1,000 subscribers in order to make money on YouTube, which is cool. But I want to make sure I have 300 followers. I would love for every one of you to go to the link in our bio, hit the subscribe button to our YouTube. Even if you're not on YouTube like that, go make an account with your Gmail, click the subscribe button to our YouTube. Do that right now. Let me make sure I have this. Let's see. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's see here. Let me see. see. So I'm gonna put that in there. So I'm put that in there. Let's see. I know I look different today. I don't have like okay, there we go. Make sure, if I can get all of our followers, all of our viewers, all of our family members to click that link in the bio, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Job, my goal was reached out to me and I'm making more than ever. That is amazing. That is amazing. Shout out to you. I love the good news. I love the good news. I love it. So yes, please click the link in our bio, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Can I get one person to drop in my comment? If I can get 2 people, I love it. Somebody to drop in our comment section something you're grateful for before we wrap this up. I am grateful for... I'm grateful. I'm learning. I think that... I think I'm going through a phase right now where the world is really... Like, I feel like at one point in my growth stage, it was a lot of me working, like me physically working, figuring things out, how this goes. And then it was a lot less of the universe working or God working. Now I feel like it's a lot. It's starting to feel like God is doing a lot. Now it's like a lot of God work. Now it's a lot of God working. It's a little less of me physically working. It's just a lot of the God in the universe working right now. And I'm okay with that. I'm grateful for that. So that's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful just for a level of awareness, to grow and be a better person, to be a better businesswoman, to be a better mother, a better friend, a better sister, a better daughter. I'm really just grateful for self-awareness right now. That's what I'm booming on. Make sure you guys click that link in our bio to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You're very grateful. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I needed was one person to put in my comment section. I gave you guys my grateful. Make sure you guys follow me on all social media platforms. You can find me on Facebook as Cherrell Carter. And you can find me on every other social media platform at Miss Carter _1X. Make sure you guys are following Let's Talk the Show on every social media platform. You name it, we got it. And make sure, as the comment says, click the link in our bio to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have over 300 followers. I would love if I could get a follow from every last one. I love if every last one of our followers subscribe to our YouTube channel. We need at least 1,000 to hit to start making money on YouTube. And we're quite a ways away from that, but that's no biggie. I know that maybe by the end of the year we'll get there. I doubt it, but if you guys can go ahead and hit that for me and share this live. That's another thing. Every show, I need you guys to share this live with 3 people. Hit that arrow. It don't matter which 3 you click. Just send it to 3 people, just to spread the word. If you love the show, if you support what we're doing here, make sure you hit that arrow and share it. I think that's about it for me, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this show. Make sure you guys, if you do want to rewatch it, go back and leave a comment or share it for me. It's greatly appreciated. And I think that's about it. I wasn't a lot. I just definitely wanted to let you guys know there's going to be a lot of warfare when you're trying to elevate. But you got to want to be a better person, and you gotta eat shit and sleep it. That's it. It's gonna be pressure, but pressure make diamonds. And my name is Sean. I'm sorry, that was like a lyric from Big Sean song. I was about to rap it, but it's gonna take pressure in order to become who you want to be. And you cannot fold under that pressure. You cannot stop in the midst of the storm. You gotta keep going. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this show. Make sure you share it with 3 friends. Hit that link in our bio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's all I really got for y'all today. Thank you guys. Thank you, Let's Talk fam. I love you guys so freaking much. I tell everybody when I talk about this show, my Let's Talk fam is the best. I have the best audience members, the best viewers, the best community, whatever you want to call y'all. Thank you. You say just shared it. Thank you. I got the best. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all so freaking much. And make sure you comment on this live, share it, click that link in that bio, subscribe. Yeah, that's it. As always, my name is Cherrell Carter, you guys. I'm the host of Let's Talk the Show, and this ain't a podcast. I will see y'all next Tuesday.